Hi, everybody. This is Mrs. Dunnels, and I am going to be recording a lecture all about bullets and tabs. As you remember, what you're looking at right now is my Word document, and I'm on the Home tab, and this area right here is the ribbon, okay? This last week, we've gone over the clipboard, the font group, and just a few of the things in the paragraph group. So I'm going to continue to talk about this group for a little bit. First of all, I'm going to type some text so I have something to format. All right. Now, if I have some text and this button right here, these four buttons all are about alignment. Now, alignment means where is my text going to line up? Now, the default is to always line up on the left, right? If I hit enter, I'm able to write my sentence. Okay, if I hit enter again, I can write the date. Now, if I were to select this text, come up to the alignment group, notice the left is selected and default. If I choose center, it's going to line up right in the middle of the page. And if I choose right, it lines up on the right. Okay, so even when I'm done typing, if I hit enter, it stays that way until I change it. Okay. All right, now if I were to hit enter and I want to go back to the left, I can just come over here and that text above will stay on the right. So forth, okay? Now, the one in the middle, or I'm sorry, the middle of the paragraph group, but the one on the right of the alignment group is called justify. I've also heard it called to have all justification. What this is just like the little picture it shows here on the board. If you have a magazine or a newspaper, you'll notice that the columns of those articles are lined up on the left and the right. All right, so if I had a large type body of text, I could select this justify alignment button, and it says the text would evenly be spread between the margins. All right, so those are those four buttons here. Now, before, a couple days ago, we talked about line spacing. We use line spacing a lot because it changes how far away each line is from each other. These buttons up here, if I were to put my cursor right here and click the increase indent button, it's going to move me in just like I hit tab on my keyboard. All right, I'm going to hit backspace. I can click that a couple times and it increases every half inch. If you notice, I have a ruler up here. It increases every half inch, and I can decrease as well. We don't use this very often, but just so you know, it is there. Okay. The button right here, the A through Z, this button is called sort. All right, so let's create a list. Let's say I go to the grocery store. I need bread, milk, butter, cheese, chips, salad, and soda. All right, so I've got BMBCCSS. Okay, it's almost alphabetized already. But if I have this list and I press this sort button, it's going to ask me, what kind of sorting do you want? Basically, I'm going to leave it as the default because it's saying, are you sorting text, headings, fields? Paragraphs basically means basic text. And ascending is A through Z. Descending is Z through A. So I want to leave it ascending, and I click OK. So now my list is B, C, 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 M, S, S. They are all in alphabetical order. Now, if I were to select that list again and maybe choose descending from the list, my list is going to be backwards. Okay, so that's the sort button. All right, up here next to the sort button is a button that we don't rarely use, but it's called the show hide button. Okay, the show hide button, it says that it shows paragraph markers and other hidden formatting symbols. If I were to turn this on, it's going to give me a symbol every time I hit enter. And it's going to give me a symbol, see in between each word, every time I hit space. If I had my cursor right here and I push tab, oh, I thought it would give me a symbol for that. Anyway, It gives you symbols for evidently spaces and enters. Okay, I'm sure there's other things that I'm just not showing. But I know that this is a toggle switch, which means I have to turn it off for it to go away. Okay, so that's the show hide button. All right, the last two things are a color bucket and borders. All right, so I'm going to select everything and get rid of it. And I think I'll type a quick paragraph. Actually, I think I'll find a quick paragraph. I'm going to pull up from our assignment this last week from the alarm document. All right, so I'm going to use this. If I were to select this group here, I could come up to the paint bucket, click the down arrow, and choose a color to go behind my paragraph. I can do it for each group that I select. Okay, so that's just applying color. It's not necessarily a highlighter, it's just applying color. The same thing goes for borders. If I were to select that paragraph and choose borders, now look, I can choose a top border, a bottom border, and notice it's giving me a example, a preview when I hover. Okay, all borders, outside, inside. Okay, I'm going to choose all. All right, notice that because there's two paragraphs, it split it like a table. Okay, so applying a border to text would be used with this button here. All right. Okay. Select all, delete. All right, now we're going to start fresh. If I have a list and I want it to have a bullet, I'm going to go here. And let's say I'm going to type colors. Okay, so I've got purple. We did this last week. You guys know how to do it. And green. Okay. If I want to change these bullets, you know that I can pick a different bullet from the bullet library. One thing I do want to teach you is you don't have to stick with these bullets. You don't have to pick these bullets. You can choose different bullets. So let me show you how. You select your list and you go up to define new bullet. And then up here you can choose symbols, which means all of these different kind of wingding font symbols. Or I can choose picture. Now, it's going to allow me to search in Bing. Your computers might look a little different from this search option because I'm on my laptop. But let's say I search for snowflake. It give me some options, and I would say 90% of these pictures are going to work okay. It'll give you an error if it doesn't, and then you just, hit the back button and pick a different one. So I'm going to choose this one, hoping that it works. Click Insert. And it gives me a preview right here of what they look like, and I hit OK. And notice how tiny they are. Okay, a lot of the bullets are going to be extremely tiny. So if I want to edit that size, I can go up to the drop down. And remember when we changed what the font looked like? Actually, is it going to let me? I want to do. Oh, I think I have to be in the drop down for numbers. Let's try that. Yeah, and then I go to font. And I am hoping this is going to let me. I don't think it's going to. Okay, that's for numbers. And if I click back, yeah, it did. It increased the size. Okay, so if you want to increase the size of those bullets, you go into the number dropdown, and we talked about defining new number format, choosing a font style. Okay, so you choose the font, the bold, the size. I'm going to go ahead and say I don't want to underline. These things really don't matter except for the size because I'm just doing the snowflake. Click OK, click OK. Then go back to the dot. All right. So that's how you would change your bullets to be an image rather than a dot. All right, let's see. Let's talk about tabs. Okay. If you do not have a ruler on your document, I suggest you go put one on there, and I'll show you how. Once you put a ruler on your document, it will always stay there. So I do highly recommend that you turn that on, and you do it by going to the View tab. and then clicking the box next to ruler. It just helps you see your margins. It helps you see where if your text is lined up, etc. So always have this ruler option on. Okay, back to the Home tab. There's a couple different ways of doing tab. If I were to type the name of this class, and on my keyboard next to Q is a tab button. And if I press tab, it's going to increase every half inch. See that? It's going to jump every half inch. So let's say I don't want it to go every half inch. I want it to, with one tab, I want it to jump over to 2. There's a couple way of formatting your tabs. The first I'm going to show you is the quickest way. Notice my arrow of my cursor is just barely under the 2, but still on the ruler. I'm going to double click. And it's going to open up the tab box. Now, let me redo that and show you something. If I had just clicked one time, it will insert that tab. If I hit tab next to Q on my keyboard, it's going to jump all the way to 2. So that's actually what I originally had wanted, yes. But let's say if I want another tab over here at 4, but I want to change it, I double click, it opens up this tab dialog box. All right, and you can see the positions on the ruler where my tabs are going to be. Left alignment tabs, that means wherever it lines up is the direction the text is going to go, just like the alignments up here. So this is a left tab. I could do a center tab, which means the text starts in the middle and works its way out equally. Or I can click on the right tab, which means the tab will go to the right and the text will move to the left. So let's make a couple different ones. I'm going to click on that 4-inch that I'm creating. I'm going to hit center and I'm going to hit OK. So notice I've got a left tab. That's what L stands for. And now I've got this upside down T. And notice if you hover, it tells you a center tab. And let's go in here and create a right tab at the 6. So I'm going to press 6 on my keyboard, come down here and click right and click OK. Now I have a right-sided tab. Okay, so I'm going to type Skyline tab, high tab, school. All right, so this is left, this is centered, and this is right. All right, another way to create tabs is you can open up your paragraph dialog box launcher right there. And down here at the bottom is the tabs button that opens up the same box. Okay, so there's multiple ways of doing that. Another kind of tab I want to show you are leader tabs. Down here, have you ever been to a concert where they have the name of a person and then there's dots across the page leading to the instrument they're playing? So let's do that. Let's say Mrs. Oh, let me create one. Let's do 0.5 inches, and I want it to be left. And I'm going to set that so it adds the list. And then I'm going to add one at 4.5. And I want it to be a dot leader, and I want it to be right. And I'm going to set. Okay, so here's all my tabs, and I'm going to say OK. So see all these tabs? They're different, right? Okay, so I'm going to hit tab one time. Here we go. I'm going to say Mrs. Dunnels. And if I hit tab, I'm going to jump to this mark, and I'm going to jump to this mark, and I'm going to jump to this mark. See? Oh, those tabs kind of messed me up. So let me hit undo. And I'm going to come up here and clear my tabs. You can click and drag them down to clear tabs, because I want to start fresh with that dot leader tab. And that's my mistake. Let me just start again. Okay, so right here, I'm going to double click. And I want it to be left, set, and I'm going to do 4.5 right leader set. Okay, so those are my 2 tabs. Okay, so Mrs. Dunnels is in a concert, and I hit tab, and she plays the flute. Yes, I actually played the flute in high school. Okay, I still have it too. I don't play it very often, but I have it. So this is what a dot leader looks like. I can hit enter and do it again. Let's say Mrs. Hot across the hall, she played the kazoo. I have no idea what she played in high school. I think she was an athlete. All right, so there you go. Those are dot leaders, and those are tabs. Now, I hit enter, those tabs should stay with me, and if I want to delete them, I just pull them down. You're going to have an assignment today that's going to create more of a column looking setting. So you might have instruction to create a tab at 1, set. Let's create a tab at 3 and set, and let's create a tab at 6 and set. Okay, so I've got these 3 tabs. Actually, I'm going to show you that I can move, click and drag to move this tab down. Doesn't look equal, does it? Okay, so I'm going to hit this one and I'm going to say Monday, tab, Tuesday, tab, Wednesday. Okay, it moved to the bottom line because there wasn't enough room, right? So I'm going to click and drag it until it fits. Enter, tab. You see what I'm doing? I'm creating a list of columns by hitting tab. And that's what you're going to end up doing in today's assignment. You're going to be creating a whole long list of things. You're going to create actually a list of movies from Star Wars, and you're going to be changing bullets to be Darth Vader's face. If you guys have any questions, just let me know. This is a longer tutorial than you're used to. I hope it was helpful, and have a great day, all right? We'll see you in class tomorrow.